Hi. Alright, so I'm knocking over my balls here. So I can't believe I didn't think of doing this before. I told you I would have to present you the orgonite in stages. Layers. Layers and layers. Okay. So I made jewelry. I make jewelry. So I had a lot of crystals and gems and metals and things that normal girls have. And all these materials. Basically, I just got tired of going out by my horses when I would come to the country, and in the middle of the night there is a plane or two or three or four at a time in the sky going over, putting a trail of nanoparticles of crap. And I look at it as being very disrespectful to the earth that we are all on. And it took me a very long transition to figure out how to be a little girl and tackle something so big. Especially when a lot of times I feel very alone because, you know, not everyone notices what's above their head. All right, so that being said, I started making orgonite. I had all the metals and proceeded to get the rest of the concoction that I did not have, and started making batches with resin. So and just did different types of molds and different combinations of what was inside, and developed different kinds that I know I could feel the energy and what they were doing. But I'm sensitive, so how do you explain that to others without them taking it all like it's hokey pokey, you know? Until like 2 Christmases ago, I guess, I had a bunch of random stuff in my Amazon cart, and for like a year I had dowsing rods, which are just these sticks of copper. That's all it is. I told you copper is a good energy conductor, energetic conductor. So this is just it just has a handle of copper. It's just a tube, and there's like a little pin on the end so it doesn't fall off. And this is just a bent copper rod. That's it. Now, back in the olden time, slash thousands of years ago, when you went to a place and you wanted to find where under the water or under the ground was a well of water, so you knew where to dig your well, they'd get the dowsers, the dowser people. Sometimes you can do this with sticks, and some people are just really sensitive, and this is an amazingly accurate means of divination, you know. I mean, you can have equipment that is $10,000 plus to find where your well is, and the dude that knows how to do this from generations of family and learning it can tag what is underneath the ground more accurately with these suckers than those fancy equipment, all that fancy equipment. To just look, just can. All right, so you don't have to take my word on anything I said. I'm just a weirdo that has overdosed at times with 4 different documentaries at once, or reading 5 books at once. I can't remember the last nonfiction I actually read. I mean, fiction. Everything I read is non. I don't even know what story I could get through that wasn't a means of educating my mind a little bit. I mean, I guess that would be like fun, but I find it more fun to read 5 different things about quantum mechanics instead. Okay. All right, so back to the subject. These dowsing rods I had in my Amazon cart, they were like 10 bucks, 8 bucks, 12 bucks, something like that. And I was ordering a bunch of Christmas gifts, so I just put it in my cart. Now, I had been making Orgonite for a while, small ones, and giving them away to people. You know, here's one that I put inside a copper thing. And just, I mean, I guess I can see online there's a lot of people that do sell them, and totally worth paying whoever made them. Totally worth having it, spread that, you know, gift it. But I found that every time I'd make a batch, I'd just give it away. Just give it away. So I just hope that I gave away enough that spread itself out to where in this earth it needed to go to help it, us, and her out. You know, so I didn't think for this entire time that I had a means of tapping into what the energy was doing and a means of physically seeing that. I mean, I could feel it, but that's me. So had I have known, if I got a set of dowsing rods, I could actually just see what it does, I would have gotten them long before I actually ordered them from just sitting in my Amazon cart. So I'm going to try to do this demonstration by myself. It is better with another individual, but my sister would be the option, and she is practicing her piano next door, so I'm not going to bother her. We're going to attempt to do this. Now, let me do it with 2. All right, so basically I got these, and I was like, oh, I'm going to learn the dowsing rods and have fun with them, and would walk around my family's property and held them and was like, let's see. And I was out by the horses, and these suckers were like, whoa. And I was like, what was that? And I go by, and it was, whoa. And I look, and there's one of my Orgonites that I put out by the horses to help clear the air. Because I heard that if you make an Orgonite, basically big Orgonite in a big working bucket, like from Home Depot, 5-gallon or whatever, that you could clear the air and the earth for 40-mile radius around that. There doesn't have to be that many weirdos in our society that care about the earth to make a very big impact on how much of it is cleansed. So I figured, I don't care if anybody thinks I'm a weirdo, whether they know it or whether they don't. I'm doing it to help. If I can help that much, you know, of the earth of miles around me, heck, why not give it a shot? Had I known it worked so well. I mean, okay, let me show you. Let's just get to a demonstration, shall we? Okay. All right, so these have handles. So when you hold these, you make sure you hold them on the handles so that you are not a factor in why they move. It's purely energy. Also keep them parallel with the ground. Okay, parallel with the ground so that you're not going downhill or uphill to force them any way strange. Now, I do have to try to do this one-handed. So I'm going to keep this on the camera so you don't think I'm doing anything weird. All right. I am not going to touch the rod here, nor the pins. Okay, I'm going to try to keep these as parallel as I can, but a little bit above one another so that they can go under each other. Okay, can you see? All right, you can't see that one part. I don't want you to think I'm holding on anything weird. Okay, can you see? All right. Use my hands for strength. Okay, can you see? All right, so I'm just going to hold these. Now, here's an Orgonite. Do I have enough room? Hold on while I move my obelisk. Okay. Let me move this guy over here so he's not affecting all this. The quartz won't. But when it's in this resin, it's like, oh, so, all right, so let me say this. Quartz is physioelectric. So it's like bone or wood or DNA. If you squeeze it, like if you walk across the floor, you create static electricity, okay? If you, so bone and so DNA. So quartz is alive and it holds memory. And if you squeeze it, it makes electricity. Okay, Mannix, you need to give me a moment. He wants to be a part of the video, but I want to get this in before it runs out. Okay, so watch.